So I want to talk about video games and how I feel the world of gaming has changed a lot since when I first got into games when I was a kid. And I see a lot of people do videos on TikTok where it be, I've just got a load of free time. I'm going to sit and play this new game I just bought, and then they play in it after 20 minutes. They're like, it doesn't hit the same, and I'm just not enjoying it anymore. Now I think there's a few reasons why this is, and I'm going to go over why I feel like it is, and from my experience. Now the first game I got was probably the Game Boy with Pokemon Red and Blue. And I remember it clear as day. Me and my friend, we left school and our mums picked us up, and they had it in the boot of the car. They'd just gone to the local game station and bought it, and we were through the moon. And I can't even tell you how long I spent on that when I was a kid. Me and my friend would be on the house phone all night, being like, "How far are you now? What Pokemon have you caught?" We was obsessed with it, and everyone was in school. Then from then on, it was the PS1, PS2, Xbox 360. I had all those consoles, Nintendo Wii. And my love for gaming just kept getting stronger and stronger. Now it's changed a lot because it's not even like the games have gotten worse. If anything, they've gotten exponentially better. Like when you look at the graphics and the storytelling now, and the consoles, it's just so much better than what it used to be. There's something to be said for the simplicity of those games growing up though, because there's something about them, whether it's just nostalgia, I don't know, but they just seem to capture the essence of the game and the player coming together better than these new games do. I remember sitting in the back of my mum's car, and every time I'd buy a new game, I'd be reading the back of the cartridge, like the manual and the box and stuff, and just be obsessed. I couldn't wait to play it. And I think what frustrates people with the gaming industry now is just how things are so much behind a paywall. And for example, Assassin's Creed they're releasing a new game this year, and I was on the PlayStation Store the other night, and I was having a look to see how much it was to pre-order, and it was £120. And if I paid that now, then I'd be able to play it 3 days earlier, which is just doing that kind of stuff is just uncalled for. It's just these companies, all they're trying to do is just now with these games is, instead of building a sort of rapport with their players, they're just trying to get the players to depart with their money any way they can. And I feel like back in the day, it was like a company would make a game and it would be like they want to make the best game they can do. And there's another factor in this with them doing this, which is why it's so bad against obviously their own integrity. But these companies are getting their developers to rush these games out so quickly that they're not even having time to work on it properly, and they're just full of bugs. I mean, the new Pokemon Scarlet and Violet game, it was just full of bugs, and Cyberpunk as well, that absolutely flopped, and that had even people like Keanu Reeves behind it. And this was all because these developers are just so time restrained, and these companies are just so trying to capitalize on their players that they're not really sitting down and trying to make a really good game. You do have a couple of exceptions to the rule when it comes to this. You've got the company that made Elden Ring. You can tell they really wanted to make a really good game. And then you've got Santa Monica, who make the God of War series, and they actually just released they put a free DLC in years or two after the game was released, and people were like, "Oh my god, that's crazy, I can't believe they didn't charge us for that." Whereas every other company selling games will not only not finish their game, they will also charge you for the DLC, which should have actually just been a part of the original game anyway. It's just so capitalized. And me personally, if I want to buy a brand new game on the store, it's always more expensive than buying it in the actual shop, because they don't actually have to manufacture the disc or the case. So why are they charging me more to buy it online from the store, when if I bought it from a shop, I could actually sell the disc after I've used it after a month and get some of my money back? So I've never understood that. So this whole sort of trying to get the players to depart with as much money as they can is just really stealing away the integrity and the essence of the game, and the gaming and the player bond connection, in my opinion. And also, I think as you get older and what you should be doing with your time, which is being more productive, learning a new skill, and you can never have too much money. And most people like myself, you're always going to need to try and get more money. And if you're just sitting there after work every night playing video games for 4 or 5 hours, you know that that's just a distraction, and you could be doing much better things with your time. And for me, if I sit and I'm playing a video game, I know in the back of my head, I'm like, well, I could have actually been learning something different, or I could have been doing like a hobby that's like beneficial to me and really productive, or trying to do YouTube videos like I'm doing now and making some money through AdSense, or building up my craft to become more skillful and more valuable to whatever market I want to get in. And I can't do that if I'm just sitting there playing video games. And unfortunately, it's sort of, as you get older, you realise it's coming into that category of being a bit of a bad habit. Now, it's not completely bad. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, spending an hour or so playing video games, and like they can be a great way to de-stress. And some of them are a lot of fun. You can link up with your friends and play them, like Call of Duty, and that kind of kept me sane in lockdown when me and my friends would all play Call of Duty, and we'd all like speak to each other on the mic, and it was a good little social gathering. So it's not all bad. It's not necessarily a really bad habit, but I think as you get older, you realise it can be. And as a kid, you don't really pick up on that, and when we were kids playing games, you didn't have the internet, and you didn't have all these possibilities to be able to do something with your spare time that can actually make you more money and like progress your life. So there's a lot less pressure. And back when I was a kid, you either had video games or DVDs or like books. There wasn't any other distraction. And that's another thing as well. You've got so many companies and social media and everything these corporations trying to steal your attention. There's like TikTok. I find it's just so easy to just scroll through and just find some really funny videos on, and like I can just watch TV and scroll through TikTok, or go on like Instagram or YouTube Reels, YouTube Shorts. And didn't have that back in the day. It was just you just had very minor distractions, so you could spend a lot more time playing video games. And video games have gotten so much better. I mean, look at the graphics, the storytelling. It's like amazing compared to what it used to be when we were younger. So that hasn't changed. That's gotten better. But I think the gaming industry is in a bit of a weird place now, because you've got people that are obviously gaming to stream and make money. And it's just become very capitalized, and I think that's what's basically stolen the essence from it. So I think it will change though once VR. I don't know if you've ever seen Ready Player One, but I think once the gaming industry manages to get like that, that's when it will like really start to take off again, and a lot more people will come together. But right now, it's like it's just in a bit of a weird spot where it's just very money orientated and microtransactions, and developers not having enough time to finish games. So let me know if you agree with what I just said, and if you're still playing games, like what games like still manage to sort of give you that feeling that you used to get when you would play them when you was younger. If you made it this far, I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.